Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. In the last episode, we departed Bill's house in Route 25 for the next destination. And then entered again, I guess. You really had to show me this whole... You record the dialogue? What? Why? The gym in Vermilion City was full of tough trainers. Preparations had to be made. Huh? Why did I leave the gym? Was it to go heal before Misty? Took on Cerulean City gym leader Misty Starmie with Butterfree and one Tenaciously. And departed the gym in Cerulean City. Read the sign on the Pokemon Center. And saved the game at this location, Cerulean City. In the last episode, we did everything up through the Cerulean Gym. I could probably cut out a lot of that, huh? But I'm still gonna show it in every episode because the game, the game takes the time to record it. I may as well acknowledge the game's hard work. This time, we are going to be doing everything we can do up through our third gym battle in Vermilion City. Which, good. That's how it worked last time. People here were robbed. It's obvious the Team Rocket's behind the heinous crime. The police force has trouble with them, even though they were just hanging out in the backyard. We already got the TM for Dig back from Team Rocket in the last episode. If you were not here for that, I don't blame you, because that episode was the length of the movie, but... I mean, if that's the reason why, you probably aren't here for this one either, because I can't imagine it's that much shorter. Yeah, I agree, me. That sign probably isn't important. As usual, heading on to Route 5, we are going to head down this way. And there's tall grass. Okay. My notes say to talk about the new Pokemon that appear here, but I'm actually going to save it until a little bit later. Just because they appear on another route where there's a lot more to, there's a lot more trainers to fight, and I think I would just rather talk about them while I'm fighting a bunch of randos instead of going through this route that has a mechanic that I need to talk about. Heading down here, we have the daycare. At least it was before, is it still? I run the daycare service. Would you like me to raise one of your Pokemon? We certainly have the money for it. But I don't really want you to raise any of these. I'm raising them myself. Come anytime you like. This works pretty much the same way. It's 1 experience point per step whenever you leave a Pokemon in here. I'd recommend leaving Magikarp here if you bought the one in front of Mount Moon. But otherwise, yeah, this is exactly the same. There's no breeding at this specific daycare center, so you can only leave 1 Pokemon at a time, and it's just for levels. So there's not actually that much to go over on this route, but there is in the next area. Let's head in here. I'm on guard duty. Gee, I'm thirsty though. Me too. Thanks for reminding me to drink water. Hydration is important, chat. Chat? I'm not even a streamer. Why would I say chat? Oh wait, the road's closed. Okay. It's closed because you forgot your water bottle. I get it. Do you have a Nidoran female? Want to trade it for my Nidoran male? Yeah, there is a much easier way to get Nidoran male here. In Pokemon FireRed, she would trade you for a Nidoran female, and its name will be either Miss Nido or Mr. Nido, and it will be holding a tiny mushroom. I don't have my Nidoran female in my party, and even if I did, I wouldn't trade it. I already caught a better Nidoran male. Recurring items appear here. I'm going to tell you where all of them are because I am not going to bother trying to get all of them. 2 squares south of the northern stairs and 2 squares west of the eastern wall, there is an antidote. On the northernmost blue line, 3 squares east of the western wall, there is a paralyze heal. 6 squares north of the northernmost red line, 1 square east of the western wall, is an awakening. On the northernmost red line, 2 squares west of the eastern wall is a potion. 5 squares south of the southernmost blue line, 3 squares east of the western wall, there is an ether in Group C. This is the only one in Group C, the rest of them are in Group B. 6 squares north of the southern stairs and 1 square west of the eastern wall is an ice heal. 2 squares north of the southern stairs and 2 squares east of the western wall is a burn heal. Okay, I can no longer... There's gotta be a better way to talk about these, but like, I don't know. You know they're all here now. I wouldn't say any of them are particularly important to pick up. The ether is probably the most useful one. She's saying people lose stuff in there, and that's what we'd be picking up if I were bothering to do that. Up here, on one of these tiles, a rare candy. It's a hidden item. And if we head over here, I noticed I missed a couple of these patches of grass in the last episode. There's one that I can't get to because it was right outside Mount Moon, but I'm actually going to... Yeah, I'm going to go and check the other one, just in case. Because if there is an item there, I'm gonna regret missing it for the rest of my life. Here, at the very end of the maze on Route 25 is an Oranberry. That absolutely was not worth it, but... Okay, fine. You know it's here now. Route 6. Alright, we got all the items here already. There are Pokemon to go over. We got some trainers to fight. Bios. Meowth is no longer version exclusive. Unfortunately, the changes to the way critical hits work did Meowth no favors in this gen. Meowth is still more than usable, with it having access to many fantastic moves through TM and relatively equal attack and special attack stats throughout its entire life. In the late game, it even gets access to Fake Out, a 40 power normal type move with a 100% chance of flinching that always moves first, but only works used on the first turn of a Pokemon being in the battle, essentially allowing Meowth to get some free chip damage off on opponents as soon as it switches in, to back up its weaker attacking stats. Meowth isn't at its best here like it was in Generation 1, but that doesn't mean it's unusable. Just make sure the rest of your team is prepared to back it up, because Meowth can't last forever in any given fight. And by bios, I mean bio, so... Yeah. I already have exhausted things to talk about. I'll see you at the next interesting thing. Realized I should probably talk about the berry we just picked up, a citrus berry. It's essentially an upgrade to the Oranberry, where if a Pokemon is low on HP and it's holding it, it will automatically eat it and restore 30 HP. This is pretty pathetic. The citrus berry gets a major buff in future games, but right now, this is all it does, and it's fine. We essentially have 2 of them because we have 3 Oranberries. Level 22, Hiket is learning Razor Leaf. We finally have a good grass move. Level 23, Margarine is trying to learn Whirlwind. This forces the opponent to switch Pokemon, and in a wild encounter, it just ends the encounter. I don't have entry hazard, so switching Pokemon... I mean, it can be useful. I don't know if it's useful enough to get rid of Stun Spore or Sleep Powder, though, and since I'm not using entry hazards... yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go for it. I like the, option to choose between Stun Spore and Sleep Powder still. And Thief is just really good for grinding items. By the way, I should mention, Abra actually has a chance of holding a Twisted Spoon. It's a very small chance, but this is an item that increases the power of Psychic-type moves by, I believe, 30%. It's pretty good, especially if you're using a Butterfree or a Kadabra. It might be worth grinding to find an Abra holding one just to thief it real quick, because, yeah, Twisted Spoon can be helpful. It's actually pretty definitive in certain Nuzlockes. Looking at you, Pokemon Coliseum. Finally made it to Vermilion City. All the trainers on Route 6 are dealt with. I am going to go ahead and heal up. In Vermilion City, they added this trainer to the Pokemon Center. The urge to battle with someone you've tangled with before. Have you ever had that urge? I'm sure you have. I wanted to battle certain people again over and over too, so I've been giving these away. Please take one. The Verse Seeker. Use that device and you'll find trainers looking for a rematch. You have to charge its battery to use it, though. This is an incredible item. Genuinely an incredible quality of life change, especially for people who prefer to play their games without rare candies. I'm going to demonstrate this right away. Heading up to Route 6. Now that I've registered it, by the way, I can just press select to use it. That's all registering does. It's a very useful mechanic that was added in Generation 2. Battery isn't charged enough. Number of steps required to fully charge the battery, 71. Awesome. This is the fastest way to charge this thing. I hate that it needs to charge. Alright, now using it. This guy is jumping up and down, which means he wants a rematch. Huh? You want to go with me again? Spearow. He added a... No, he didn't add a Pokemon, but his Spearow is higher leveled. It wasn't level 21 before. I know that for a fact. This, that is not the move I meant to use. Okay. Sure. I'll waste another turn and more HP. That's fine. This is incredible as a mechanic, allowing you to rematch certain overworld trainers. Literally, it's just a great way to gain EXP on Pokemon. And, like, if your Pokemon's missing a few experience points from evolving or something, this can easily make up for that. Most trainers you can rematch aren't going to have too many variants of their teams. Some trainers will have, like, 2 different teams that they, like, their team gets stronger as you rematch them more and more, but it doesn't scale infinitely, obviously. Some trainers only have 1 rematch team. Some trainers' team will just be the same during the rematch, but it's a cool mechanic, and I'm glad it exists. By the way, look at this animation for Razor Leaf. That animation is so satisfying to me. I know Pokemon Black and White has a very similar animation for Razor Leaf, but I think I prefer this one just because I like the, like, boomerang-shaped leaves flying at the opponent. Black and White's animation doesn't have that. I just find that animation really satisfying. Heading into the house next door to the Pokemon Center. I'm a fishing guru. I simply love fishing. Do you love to fish? Grand, I like your style. Take this and fish. Old Rod. We can get Magikarp without needing to pay now. That's the only thing you can catch with an Old Rod still, though. In the distant past, it was somewhat stronger than the horribly weak descendants that exist today. They mean distant past, because Magikarp still isn't good in Legends Arceus. I do think Hisuian Magikarp would go hard as hell, though. Maybe they should make that. We're careful about pollution here. We've heard Grimer multiplies in toxic sludge. Maybe we'll be seeing something to indicate that later on. I'm putting up a building on this plot of land. I own it all. My Pokemon is tamping the land to lay the foundation. Is tamping a word? I'm almost certain this is the only time I've ever heard it. Pack, a blast hole full of clay or sand to concentrate the force of the explosion. Ram or pack a substance down or into something firmly. Okay. So he tamps down the tobacco with his thumb. Okay. This makes sense. The second definition makes a little more sense than the bomb definition, probably. Okay. You're old. I'll accept you having weird word choice. I learn something new every time I make videos about a game, even if it's just vocabulary. While we're here, I would like to purchase some Pokeballs because we are completely out. 30 is good. And some Super Potions because we are also completely out of potions. We are going to very quickly, like, see the amount of money we have from those nuggets dwindling, but that's fine. What is this paper on the... It's a questionnaire. Would you like to fill it out? Yes. Okay. This is for a mechanic I have not written any notes about. 1 second. Okay, I want to enter a word that starts with L. Link. Word that starts with T. You can get to this mode of entering words by pressing select. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass still, but it's easier to find specifically what you're looking for this way, at least. With all. Oh, hello! You know those words? That means you must know about the mystery gift. From now on, you should be receiving mystery gifts. Once you save your game, you can access the mystery gift. Very helpful, huh? Tells you a lot about what this mechanic is, right? So, mystery gift is only, like, usable through the wireless adapter or an e-reader. The e-reader is specifically for Japanese games. This only exists in LeafGreen, FireRed, and Emerald in Generation 3 at least. Ruby and Sapphire had something different called a mystery event. I do not have enough information to really, like, go over what this does, but to be frank, the primary use was to receive special items at Nintendo events, and it was also to change the wild Pokemon that appear in one specific area. But that second thing was never done, and there are no longer Nintendo events for Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. So essentially, it is a completely outdated mechanic. If you want to, like, cheese it, because I'm sure there are ways to, like, spoof getting mystery gifts, you can save the game and go to the start menu, and it will be there. I'm not going to do that now because it's not worth saving to risk losing the recording, and I don't really want to stop the recording right now either, so just take my word for it. You'll see it at the start of the next episode either way, probably. This doesn't do anything, though. That's just all the questionnaire in the Pokemart does. Okay. Hi, do you have a Spearow? Want to trade it for my Farfetch'd? I sure do. Spearow will be sent to Alyssa. Bye-bye, Spearow. Chiding! That's not what it was named in Generation 1 at all. Thank you. You're welcome. Let's take a look at Chiding. It's holding something. A stick? Adamant nature? I don't know if that's predetermined, but that's a really good nature. I think that's plus attack minus special attack. That's about as good as you can possibly ask for on a Farfetch'd. Let's talk about Farfetch'd real quick. Farfetch'd is not very good, but let's go over the positives first. To start with, Chiding the Farfetch'd comes holding the stick. This item, when held by Farfetch'd, increases Farfetch'd's chance of getting a critical hit by 2 stages. This essentially gives it a 100% chance of getting a critical hit when using Slash, absolutely obliterating anything that tries to raise its defenses. Except most Pokemon that use moves to raise their defense stat resist Slash anyway, and Farfetch'd doesn't learn Slash until level 41. Farfetch'd does learn Knock Off. It's pitifully weak coming from Farfetch'd's special attack stat, though, and most opponents don't use held items in this game. Oh. See, unfortunately, I've already touched on all of Farfetch'd's selling points. It also gets agility and sword stance to make it the most gimmicky sweeper of all time, but for that to work, it needs to survive long enough to set up. Farfetch'd isn't unusable. I mean, you could go back about 10 years on this channel to see that for a fact. But there are significantly better choices for a flying type in the Kanto region. Alright. We have our HM user.
I chair the Pokémon fan club. I raise more than 100 Pokémon!
You currently raise or have raised?
I'm very fussy when it comes to Pokémon, I surely am. So, did you come visit to hear about my Pokémon? Good, then listen up. My favorite Rapidash. It's cute, lovely, smart, plus amazing. You think so? Oh yes, it's stunning. Kindly, love it. Hug it when sleeping, warm and cuddly. Spectacular, ravishing. Oops, look at the time. I kept you too long. Thanks for hearing me out. I want you to have this.
Bike voucher from the chairman.
Take that bike voucher to the bike shop in Vermilion City. Exchange that for a bicycle, free of charge. Don't worry, my favorite Firo will fly me anywhere I need to go. So I have no need for a bicycle. I hope you like cycling.
I just adore my seal. It's so lovable. It squeals cute when I hug it. Awesome.
Huh, my Pikachu's twice as cute as that one.
That's what one? So listen politely to other trainers. If someone brags, brag right back. Our chairman is very vocal about Pokemon. Noted. With that bike voucher, we're gonna go all the way back to Cerulean City again. Oh, that's a bike voucher. Okay, here you go. A bicycle. Thank you. Come back again sometime.
Thank you!
That wasn't even close. That was like the farthest from a Tingle, not even Tingle, Beetle impression I have ever done. Bicycle, a folding bicycle that allows faster movement than the running shoes. So it says that, and in Generation 1, the bicycle was not very useful. There were barely any places you could use it, and it was like the music interrupted and did not stop when you entered a new area. That is no longer the case. Yes, it will play in whatever area you start riding the bike in, but if you head to another area, that music will overwrite it, and then it will continue to do that. This is significantly better than having the grating bike music at all times if you choose to ride the bicycle. On top of that, you'd be surprised on some of the areas the game will let you ride your bike. It lets you ride it in the underground path, for example. I don't remember if that was or wasn't the case in Generation 1. You still can't ride it indoors, obviously, just like you can't run indoors, except for in underground paths again, for some reason. But, yeah, this is just, like, all around a great thing to have. I will actually probably have this registered for the remainder of the playthrough. Also, just realized the mic was kind of far from my face. Sorry. Alright, I don't think there's anything of note in this house, but we can check to be sure. I want to exchange mail with all sorts of people. I send my Pidgey to a union room to exchange mail for me. Karuko! I'm getting my Pidgey to fly a letter to Saffron in the north. Dear Pippi, I hope to see you soon. I heard Saffron has problems with Team Rocket. Vermilion appears to be safe. True. I wonder why Vermilion is safe. Anyway, we are going to head right to the SSN. Welcome to the SSN. Welcome to the SSN. Excuse me, do you have a ticket? I flashed it. Welcome to the SSN. Welcome to the SSN. Music is a lot less, like, boisterous and loud than it was in Generation 1. This is because this is actually, like, a version of the song that was written for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. And they sort of fused it with the original for LeafGreen and FireRed. I like it a lot. But I do kind of miss, like, how loud and, like, you could just kind of hear it being a little bit, like... I don't know what genre of music I'd say the original was. It was not whatever genre this is, though. Anyway. We can run in here, thank God. Heading into the kitchen. There is a Pecha berry that heals poison. A Cherry berry that heals paralysis. And a Chesto berry, which heals sleep. Chesto berries are extremely useful. I recommend picking them up. And then in the lower left corner, you can find the Great Ball that was here in red and blue. So we're picking all those up. I love having the foghorn in the song. I didn't know that was like a part of I haven't heard this version of this song in so long. Probably since the last time I actually played all the way through FireRed and LeafGreen, which would have been a long time ago, at least without like speed up, which I won't like lie and say I haven't used speed up at all in this playthrough. I have. I'm human. But you know, when I'm like actively commentating, I try not to, and it gives me a like reason to listen to a lot of this music again. We're gonna start fighting some of the trainers in here because we know they're here and there's some good items in some of these cabins, plus we want Annabelle to evolve. So I will meet you at the next interesting thing. I am going to say I would explicitly recommend that you do not fight every trainer in here. This would have been a good one not to fight, actually. In this last cabin, I collected these Pokemon from all around the world. Well, this isn't going to be very interesting. This item, TM31 Brick Break. This is not the same as Body Slam, but it is also a very useful move, and this is a TM we can actually get multiple copies of, which means, yeah, it's less of an annoyance if you don't pick it up too. Annabelle can learn this. Sure. Brick Break is a 75 power move that breaks barriers. That means Light Screen and Reflect, so if a Pokemon uses those and you use Brick Break, those screens are gone. Those effects are gone. It's a very good move. Significantly better than Poison Sting. So, yeah, sure. I'll take more coverage on Annabelle. That's what she needs. I've been saying that Annabelle's really hurting for type coverage. I have not been saying that. And anybody who has is lying. My buddy Machoke is super strong. He has enough strength to move big rocks. Whoa, go! I agree with him. On here, we can find a super potion. I guess we're just stealing from this guy now. This is on B1F specifically. There's a hyper potion in this trash can, okay. 200 HP. I'll take being able to restore that whenever I want, but there is not a Pokemon in the game you could have at this point with HP that high, so I don't know like why that's there. There was an ether in the third room of B1F. I just forgot to say anything. It's a pretty good item. Restores 10 HP to any move. It took me until now to realize that the reason all the trainers on B1F are sailors is because this is where the crew sleeps. This is the crew quarters. TM44 contains Rest. That is a move that I will read the description for, so I'm certain. Yeah, it fully restores the HP of the user and heals status problems, but puts the user to sleep for 2 turns. It's a very good healing move, but you have to know when to use it. And this little bit is post-commentary because Past Me didn't say anything. That actually synergizes really well with the Chesto Berry we picked up earlier. If you allow a Pokemon to hold it and then it uses Rest, it will wake up immediately, which means Rest is essentially a free full heal. Yeah, it's really good in that way. Level 22, Annabelle is evolving. Annabelle evolved into Sandslash. Let's see those stats. .54 attack, 57 defense. Those 2 stats are higher than any one stat on the rest of my Pokemon outside of HP. And even then, Annabelle's HP is higher. I think we're set for the third gym. Whoa! Annabelle's back sprite is so cool, too! Look at that! She looks so cool! Oh, I'm so glad about that. Oh my god, I was hoping that Annabelle would look awesome from the back because Sandshrew just kind of looks really docile. I am not disappointed at all. In all my travels, I've never seen any Pokemon sleep like this one. It was something like this. Yeah, that's a Snorlax, dude. That will still register as seen in your Pokedex. Check out what I fished up. Alright, it's time to take on Aiden again, and I'm feeling a little more confident in our chances this time, considering all of our Pokemon are competently leveled and evolved at least once. Bonjour, Winter! Imagine seeing you here! Winter, were you really invited? So, how's your Pokedex coming? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Crawl around in grassy areas and look hard for them. Thanks for the unsolicited advice, Aiden. Thanks. Your sprite is really cool now, though, so it's fine. Let's go right for Rock Tomb. Pidgeotto is level 19, normal flying type, Keen Eye for the ability, knowing the moves Tackle, Gust, Sand Attack, and Quick Attack, so it's about the same as last time. Oh, we're starting to miss already. That's sort of the downside of Annabelle, is all of her moves are either, like, they have a drawback, like Dig having the turn of Wind-Up, so it's easily predictable, or Rock Tomb being inaccurate. Yeah, that's a little rough, but whatever. We took out Pidgeotto. That's good. Annabelle grew to level 24. Slash. Okay. Absolutely. I will take it. Raticate is level 16, normal type, Guts for the ability, knowing the moves Tackle, Tail Whip, Quick Attack, and Hyper Fang. Do not inflict a status condition on this thing, whatever you do. But of course Annabelle can one-shot it because she's Annabelle. She can one-shot anything she wants. Kadabra! Level 18, Psychic type, Synchronized for the ability, knowing the moves Teleport, Confusion, Disable, and Kinesis. It actually knows its signature move, so that's pretty cool. I don't know why he's using Disable on a move that I have no reason to ever use against a Kadabra, though. Charmeleon is level 20, Fire type, Blaze for the ability, knowing the moves Scratch, Growl, Ember, and Metal Claw. We can just dig this, and it will go down in one hit. Great battle, Aiden. Obviously, the other Pokemon he could have as a starter are going by on the screen right now. Yep, that's about what I expected. Huh! At least you're raising your Pokemon. That's true. I heard there was a Cut Master on board, but he was just a seasick old man. Cut itself is really useful. Yep, it'll be handy. You should go see him too. Smell ya! Alright, before going to get Cut, I highly recommend you leave the SS Anne immediately and get a very weak Pokemon in your party. One very weak Pokemon. I promise I have a reason for this.
Oh, I feel hideous. Seasick.
Rub, 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 rub.
Whew, thank you, I'm feeling much better now. You want to see my hidden cut technique? I could show you my prize cut technique if I weren't so ill. I know, you could have this hidden machine. Teach cut to your Pokemon and you can see it cut anytime.
HMO 1.
Using cut, you can chop down small trees. Why not use it with the trees around Vermilion City?
Yes, why not? Yuck, shouldn't have looked. True, a town map. Why do you have this if you're setting sail from here to go, like, out into the ocean? I know how you go out into the ocean. It's because this is, like, a big bridge, basically, and you can go under it, but... What? I don't know. I think I just don't... Why would you have a town map of one specific country if you're going between countries, I guess? I mean, maybe they're just going out to sea for a little bit, but that seems like kind of a waste of money for a cruise. Cram full of Pokemon books. How to Conquer Seasickness. The captain's reading this. Awesome. Alright. I need to go find someone to fight right now. Our captain is a sword master. He's awesome at using cut. Okay. You'll do. Ahoy there! Are you seasick? I am. I think I need to be thrown overboard immediately. Machop! That should do. Go, Magikarp! I think Magikarp's got this one in the bag. Never mind. Now, I need to, under any circumstances, not return to that harbor for a very long time. I promise this will all make sense later, but it's gonna be, like, later. Just, once you do this, if you want to see and get everything you can get in the game, do not re-enter that harbor right now. The SS Anne will depart immediately, and you will never be able to re-enter it again. So, yeah. We're going to be saving that for later. We are going to head on to Route 11. We will go over the encounters specific to this first, but we're actually going to be going through Diglett's Cave before that. No, the splash art needs to be on screen for a little longer than that. I was holding down B. Alright. Well, isn't this a surprise? Diglett's dug this long tunnel. It goes right to Vermilion City, they tell me. Yeah, you can even see more holes that the Diglett dug up front, like up top there. It's a neat little detail. I didn't even realize that's what it was going for until just now, even. There's not really any items or anything here, just encounters and a lot of annoying ones at that. Let's talk about them. Diglett is great, but why talk about that when we can also find Dugtrio here? Dugtrio is one of the best Pokemon in the game. The most notable aspect of Dugtrio as a Pokemon is its ability, Arena Trap. This not only makes Diglett's Cave one of the most annoying areas in the game, but turns Dugtrio into an excellent revenge killer. If, say, an Electric-type Pokemon brings down a Water-type on your team, you can switch into Dugtrio, and that Electric-type Pokemon won't be able to switch out, on top of Dugtrio being able to outspeed and one-shot them with Dig, and, later on, Earthquake. And that's just the competitive side of things. For your single-player playthrough, Dugtrio has quite a deep move pool. And by that I mean it gets access to a single Flying-type move through a TM we're getting soon, and a single Poison-type move through a TM that's exclusive to the post-game. Dugtrio will largely use the same moveset as Sandslash in any given playthrough. Earthquake, Dig, Rock Tomb, Slash, the works for a Ground-type in Generation 1. Ultimately, Dugtrio is without a doubt the best Ground-type in the game, and I can definitely recommend it. So because Diglett and Dugtrio can have Arena Trap, about 50% of these encounters are going to be impossible to escape from. That makes Diglett's Cave a pain in the ass. So I'll cut ahead to when something not annoying is happening. Alright, it's actually worth noting, Arena Trap doesn't affect flying types. So if you have Butterfree, you're fine. This cave isn't that annoying at all. I mean, in comparison to other caves, at least, it's not. I finally found a Dugtrio. I was hunting for it for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and use Sleep Powder right away, and it's faster. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. It's a Dugtrio. Dig isn't gonna do anything, but it is annoying that it has the option. I could go for Stun Spore, but Sleep is just more effective for catching Pokemon, and that's what I'm trying to do here. I need to focus a little bit more on Pokedex completion. I realized I didn't even go ahead and catch the Pokemon that appear on routes 24 and 25 between videos, which is weird. I usually, like, do that kind of thing between videos when I make Pokemon Let's Plays, especially ones where I'm, like, focusing at all on Pokedex completion, but I didn't. It's not the end of the world, it's just a little bit annoying. I go for a Great Ball. If this doesn't work, I'll weaken it a little bit more, but I don't know. Yeah, that was our best bet. Now I just have a bunch of Pokeballs to waste on it. 4th Pokeball. Not too bad. A team of Diglett triplets. It triggers a huge earthquakes by burrowing 60 miles underground. Okay, I just had to check something. I was comparing its Pokedex entry to Diglett's. I was checking how many yards it says Diglett goes underground. Luckily, it was like a yard. Yeah, 1 yard. Okay, that is less than a mile, so... In fact, that is like 0.00005 miles, so... Never mind. Dugtrio goes significantly deeper than Diglett. Don't fucking look at me. In this house. Fainted Pokemon just says no energy left to battle. Okay, yeah, you're not the guy. Looking for the Pokemon Abra. Want to trade? I didn't. It came back to bite me. Not catching the Pokemon on Route 24 and 25 came back to bite me. I need to go catch them now. Awesome! 1, 2, 3. Okay. Using its ability to read minds, it will sense impending danger and teleport to safety. Awesome. Went ahead and caught a Bellsprout too, just so I could get it out of the way. I have learned my lesson. What? Hold on! It's holding the Twisted Spoon! Isn't that like a 5% chance? 5% chance of holding a Twisted Spoon. Good lord. You know, maybe the next episode won't be so bad. You know, maybe the next episode won't take 50 hours of my life. You know, maybe it won't be so bad. I mean, this is 5 in 100 and not 1 in 8,192, but you know, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe it will be fine. Maybe it'll be fine. I'll fucking take it, man. Oh, I'm like over the moon about this. I really shouldn't be. Like, it's not that rare, but... Wait, no, I sent this to my friends and they pointed out it has a really good nature too. Timid is an awesome nature. That's plus speed minus attack? Even the... Hold on, I'm putting this in Pika Hex right now. Okay. This Abra's stats actually aren't all that special. It's only 14 in special attack, 2 in speed, 16 in attack and defense, 8 in special defense, and 5 in HP. It's pretty awful, all things considered, but still. Everything else about this thing is actually really lucky. It doesn't have Pokerus either, I guess. Thank God, because I don't need 2 videos on this channel where I have to drop everything and immediately talk about Pokerus, but... Whew. You know, it sucks a little bit to catch this lucky Abra and then immediately turn around and trade it away, but... That's what speedrunners would do too, because this Mr. Mime is actually incredibly important for the speedrun for FireRed and LeafGreen. So yeah. I took the Twisted Spoon at least, so we have that now. That is a good item to have. Whew. Rayleigh sent over Mimian. Mimian? I don't know. Hey, thanks! Hey, you're welcome. It's level 8. Timid nature. Does it have the same nature and met level as the Pokemon you trade? I don't know. Its ID number is 1985. That's one number off from being very funny. Soundproof is pretty good. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about Mr. Mime. Coming with Substitute, even. Wow, okay. Mr. Mime is quite good. Not the best Psychic type, but certainly not the worst either. Mr. Mime specializes in setting up with moves like Meditate, Barrier, or Calm Mind, then using Baton Pass, which it learns at level 47, to transfer those buffs onto other Pokemon. It also has the Soundproof ability to block Pokemon from using Roar to force it to switch out, making it quite good if you plan to use it in a chain of Baton Pass Pokemon. Aside from this, it gets the usual suspects for a Psychic type. Lots of Psychic and Electric moves through TM that, while not as powerful as they would be coming from an Alakazam or even Kadabra, still deal sizable damage and are effective against a good number of Pokemon. Alright. Well, let's keep heading south for now. Heading down, we have a gate here with an aid. Remember me, I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. If your Pokedex is complete data on 10 species, I'm supposed to award you. HMO5, I do have at least 10 species. 28 kinds, okay. HMO5. Contains the hidden move Flash. We know what that does too. It's not a great move, lowers accuracy by 1 stage. It's not the worst either though. There's an Ether here. A Paralyze Heal. Come on, one more. One more for the road. Come on, give me another item. I don't know why. I'm so confident in there being another item down here every time, even though I know there's not. But it just feels like there should be. Okay, back to Vermilion City now. Because the Vermilion City episode has to focus on anything but Vermilion City. Once we have cut and we head back to Vermilion City, there is the guy over here who would give us the TM for Dream Eater in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Let's cut down the tree.
I must have dozed off in the sun. I had this weird dream about a drowsy eating my dream. And I learned how to eat dreams. Oh, this is too spooky. Let me teach it to a Pokemon so I can forget about it.
This move can only be learned once. The Dream Eater TM has been replaced by a Dream Eater move tutor that... Holy shit. Margarine gets Dream Eater? Okay. It's 100 base power. Margarine has an almost 100% accurate sleep-inducing move. And it restores HP. I need to think about this really hard. Alright. Mahiru and Rebecca have spoken. I am not going to get rid of Confusion for Dream Eater. However, I am going to get rid of Stun Spore for Dream Eater. I liked having the option between Sleep Powder and Stun Spore, but honestly, I think if I'm going to be relying on Sleep Powder and Dream Eater anyway, I'm almost never going to be using Stun Spore over Sleep Powder. Stun Spore was more of a move that I wanted to keep around for longer battles where, say against that Doug trio, I probably should have used Stun Spore instead of Sleep Powder because that way it would have been slower and I would have been able to attack it faster and it would have been easier to catch in that way. But I don't know. I think it makes more sense to get rid of Stun Spore than have Confusion and Thief as more consistent options for attacking. This is the first move tutor I'm actually using. It's the third one we've come across.
I can't eat anymore.
I don't like that. Okay. I'm out of here. In Pewter City, now that we have cut, want to head up here and go ahead and cut down this little tree for the side entrance to the museum. How do the people who work back here get to work every day? The secrets of space, the mysteries of Earth. There are so many things about which we know so little, but that should spur us to study harder, not toss in the towel. The only thing you should toss, well, how about seismic toss? Should I teach that to a Pokemon? We have another move tutor. Seismic toss deals damage equal to the user's level. So for Annabelle, it would do 24 points of damage. For Mimian, it would do 8. I don't know. This isn't really worth teaching to anything this early in the game. Later on, maybe think about it, because it is consistently at least 50 to 100 damage once you reach level 50, but I don't know. I don't really like set damage moves outside of like the Pokemon who are stuck to using them at early levels. If Two-False is a rare prehistoric Pokemon, I know, I've seen them. Shh, listen, I need to share a secret with someone. I think that this chunk of amber contains Pokemon DNA. It would be a shattering scientific breakthrough if Pokemon could be resurrected from it, but my colleagues just ignore what I have to say. So I have a favor to ask. I want you to get this examined at a Pokemon lab somewhere. Awesome. You can't sneak in the back way. Nice try, kid, but no. Oh, whatever. Do you know what amber is? I don't have a friend with this name anymore, so I don't know what to say. No. Amber is actually sap, that gooey stuff that oozes from trees. The ancient sap fossilized over time to become rock-hard amber. Okay, cool. Amber contains the genetic matter of ancient Pokemon. There's a lab somewhere trying to resurrect Pokemon from amber. Okay, actually heading on to Route 11 now. There's a lot of trainers to fight and Pokemon to encounter, so let's go over those now. Drowsy is yet another psychic type that, while not quite as good as the Aberline by any stretch of the imagination, is still quite good in its own way. Competitively speaking, Drowsy's best use is using Toxic to whittle down opponents and Protect to stall them out. Other than this, Drowsy largely focuses on the usual for psychic types, just with a lot less variety in the moves it can learn. You'll likely find that any given battle you use Drowsy in will quickly devolve into just spamming Confusion or whatever equivalent you have on its moveset. It does learn many different status moves, but Poison is just the one it's best at inflicting due to its low speed stat. You'll likely never find time to paralyze or put Pokemon to sleep before Drowsy takes too much damage itself. Drowsy is still beyond usable, don't get me wrong, it's just a very one-note psychic type without access to egg moves, and you're likely better off using Abra or Mr. Mime. Well, great. I got through one trainer. Awesome. I'll see you at the next interesting thing, I guess. I'm gonna be honest, I'm already completely sold on this strategy. It has been so good so far. Obviously, everything here is a lot weaker than Margarine right now. Margarine is level 25, but, like, Sleep Powder Dream Eater is a really good combination with Compound Eyes. I don't think they really thought about giving Dream Eater to Butterfree as much as they should have, because Dream Eater is kind of balanced around the fact that most of the Pokemon that learn it are, like, psychic types, and their best way of putting other Pokemon to sleep is Hypnosis, which is 60% accuracy. It's not as balanced when the Pokemon using it has access to a 97% accurate sleep-inducing move. Like, they aren't giving Dream Eater to Pokemon that knows Spore. It's been really fun. I'm really liking this combination. About halfway through this route, there's an X Defend. It's not even a hidden item. I think that was there in red, blue, and yellow, too. It's just really weird placement. Hidden escape rope at the end. I don't know why there's a rope tied to that rock, but sure. And there's a Great Ball to the south of the gate. In the gate, at the end of Route 11, want to head up top because there is this guy. Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. If your Pokedex has complete data on 30 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. Professor Oak entrusted me with the item finder for you. So, Winter, let me ask you. Have you gathered data in at least 30 kinds of Pokemon? I think and hope so. Great, you've caught around 30 okay, exactly. Whew. Cutting it close there. Item Finder. There are items on the ground that may be hidden from view. Use the Item Finder to detect any hidden items close to you. The machine is a bit limited. It can't pinpoint item locations. What it does is show the direction where the item is. Use it to get your bearings, then search the suspect area by hand. Okay. So in Generation 1, the way the Item Finder works is it literally only tells you if there is a hidden item in the room you're in, which is not very helpful. There's no response here, obviously, but that's fine. Let's say well, we can't use it here because... Okay, well, I'll just tell you what it does, whatever. The Item Finder is great in FireRed and LeafGreen, for the record. When you use it, there will be arrows displayed. The amount of arrows correlates to your distance from an item. If there's 2 arrows, you're 5 to 8 tiles away. If there's 3 items, you're 4 to 1 tile away. There is a tiny bit more to this that the game never actually tells you, but I will make note of that when it becomes more relevant. For now, just be grateful that this is a significant upgrade from the Item Finder in Generation 1, just telling you if there's a hidden item in the room you're in. Okay. I fought everyone here. I have the Item Finder. I've caught literally everything I can catch up to this point. It is time to fight the gym. Wait. Suspicious. Okay, there's just tiles here for no reason that I can walk on. Sure. Sure, game. Sure. Alright, let's cut our way in here. Yo, champ in the making! Lieutenant Surge has a nickname. People refer to him as the Lightning American. He's an expert on electric Pokemon. Bird/water type Pokemon are match poorly against the electric type. But Bird isn't a type anymore. Missing No isn't in this one. Beware of paralysis too. Lieutenant Surge is very cautious. He's locked himself in, so it won't be easy getting to him. Okay. So, this gym is exactly the same. The only difference is there's no glitch that makes the puzzle easier, so... Oh, as I was saying, there's no glitch that makes it so the top left trash can has a, like, 80% chance of having the second lock no matter what. So, unfortunately, you have to go through this on your own in the, like, traditional check every trash can over and over again until you get the right two. Who gives a shit? I got it right away. Awesome. I still don't understand why Lieutenant Surge said, like, this guy says Lieutenant Surge was his CO, which I still think stands for Commanding Officer? How old is Lieutenant Surge? He looks like 40 at the oldest? This old man looks like 80. I don't get it. I mean, I know it's possible to have commanding officers who are older than you, but it just doesn't seem like that specific age gap is very likely. Anyway. Hey kid, what do you think you're doing here? You all live long in combat, not with your puny power. I tell you kid, electric Pokemon saved me during the war. They zap my enemies into paralysis. The same as I'll do to you. Still no explanation on what war, but whatever. Leader Lieutenant Surge would like to battle. Voltorb. Level 21 electric type. Soundproof for the ability, knowing the moves Shockwave, Tackle, Screech, and Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom is the most it can do to Annabelle, and that is just 20 HP of set damage, so I'm not that worried about it. I think Annabelle's probably just gonna one-shot with Dig here. Yep, as expected. I'm leading with Annabelle, and Annabelle's probably gonna sweep the gym, so Yeah. Pikachu is level 18, electric type, static for the ability, knowing the moves Shockwave, Thunder Wave, Quick Attack, and Double Team. Double Team is a little annoying, especially since our only ground type move is Dig, so we can't really work around it. Like, it gets a free one no matter what. I'm sort of just hoping we're able to hit it on the first try, as we are. It's only level 18, so of course it's a one-shot. There we go. Level 26 for Annabelle. Last Pokemon is Raichu, level 24, electric type. Static for the ability, knowing the exact same moves as Pikachu, Shockwave, Thunder Wave, Quick Attack, and Double Team. Oh, but it gets 2 free Double Teams off, because it's actually faster than Annabelle, so... It might just, like... Okay, never mind, it's only using one of its free Double Teams, so never mind. I was gonna say it might be able to get 2 Double Teams off and then just whittle Annabelle to death with Quick Attack, but nope. He had other plans. Now that's a shocker! You're the real deal, kid! Fine then, take the Thunder Badge! The Thunder Badge cranks up your Pokemon's speed. It also lets your Pokemon fly lightning quick anytime, kid. You're special, kid. Take this! TM34. TM34 contains Shockwave. Teach it to an electric Pokemon. No. I won't. Wait, we didn't talk to the guy. I know I don't like him, but it feels bad not to talk to him. Whew, that match was electric. Okay, that wasn't worth it. Okay, let's actually talk about Shockwave. Shockwave is a 60 power electric type move that never misses. That's about it. There's not really much to talk about regarding it. This isn't the best electric type move. It certainly isn't as good as Thunderbolt, which is what he gives you in Generation 1, but it's fine. I'd honestly recommend teaching this to like a Psychic Pokemon if you have one. Most Psychic types can learn it, and it's just good for type coverage, especially on a Pokemon like Kadabra, where otherwise it's pretty much only learning Psychic and normal type moves. Yeah, Electric is sort of just a second type for Psychics, usually. Outside of, you know, Electric types. If you have an Electric type that isn't going to learn Thunderbolt for a long time, I'd teach it that, but, like, Pikachu gets Thunderbolt at, like, level 26 or 31 or something. Not that long from now. And other Pokemon, like, Electric types that don't get Thunderbolt relatively early on typically have other gimmicks going for them anyway, so, I don't know. Use Shockwave if you want on them. I usually use it on Pokemon like Abra or Kadabra. Anyway, we have done everything there is to do up through our fight with Lieutenant Surge here in Vermilion City. Next time on Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen, we are going to be going through everything up through our 4th gym battle in Celadon City. Oh no. See you guys then.